Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Mass COVID-19 vaccinations continue in the department in private and public educational institutions.
Since the Ministry of Health and Social Protection issued, together with the Ministry of Education, the Joint Circular 347 dated September 23rd of 2021, with instruction to follow to consolidate the vaccination strategies in the educational population against COVID-19, in the department the vaccination days were scheduled. Today, the Brooks Hill and Model Schools were the beneficiaries of these mass vaccinations.
Today, we are continuing with the work we started last week with each of the educational institutions, both public and private. We are at the Brooks Hill today for the activity, and simultaneously we are in the Modelo. Tomorrow we will be in the First Baptist Church on the Hill, and we will also be at the Bolivariano School on Thursday.
Likewise, the COVID vaccination coordinator tells us to date how many young people have benefited from these visits to educational institutions.
Between schools that we have vaccinated in public and private schools, and even at the hospital tent, so far we have vaccinated 2,200 young people over 12 years of age and 242 children between 3 and 11 years of age.
Finally, it is also worth mentioning that vaccination days are currently being held for children between 3 and 11 years of age in the tent of the departmental hospital.
The Transportation Security Administration endorsed direct flights from Miami to San Andres.
The Civil Aeronautics announced that the United States Transportation Security Administration, TSA, has given its approval to allow the arrival of flights from Miami to the San Andres Airport. In this regard, the Secretary of Tourism, Jhonny said,
"It will benefit us because we will begin to receive differential tourism. We know there are many options for improvement, but we have been working very hard and with a lot of love for the benefit of the community."
The news also brings important challenges for the destination in face of the arrival of new segment of international tourism, about which the official also said,
"It is important that this segment of tourism finds the house in order. That is why we have been doing many activities of decoration and improvement of the public tourism infrastructure that we currently have. The project is that for next year, we will invest in a new public infrastructure, new tourist attractions. But for the time being, we are working on having a clean house, organizing things, the tourist sites, and making service providers aware of the quality of the service."
It should be noted that the TSA is a federal agency responsible for securing transportation system in the United States. Formed shortly after the tragedies of September 11th of 2001, the agency is part of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security.
And in other news, the Port Captaincy reports a low-pressure system near the island.
The National Hurricane Center in Miami has reported that another low-pressure system has formed over the southwestern Caribbean Sea, just northwest of Panama. Teleislas News, in order to verify this information acquired with the entity in charge, the Port Captaincy, state that this one could affect us with heavy rains.
"We are monitoring a possible low pressure that may form within the next 72 hours, which will affect by strong winds and abundant precipitation. According to the Research Center, we will continue monitoring this low pressure and we will take the respective measures to close the navigation."
The entity will continue its monitoring and observation of the system within the next 48 hours because at the moment the conditions are not generating any alert. Teleislas News will closely follow any new developments or alerts that may be issued.
17 scientists set sail from the island of San Andres aboard the ship RSA Providence to make a tour of the Keys and islets Roncador, Sorinas, and Quitasueño, and the island of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina. This is part of the Seaflower Plus expedition.
About the advisor on strategic ecosystems in the Caribbean of the Colombian Ocean Commission, he tells us what this expedition is specifically about.
En el marco del Plan Nacional de Expediciones Científicas Marinas,
In the framework of the General Plan for Marine Expeditions in the country, this year, the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve has been conducting a series of institutional processes that have allowed us to cover 70% of the islands, keys, and reef complexes of the reserve, which is an effort in financial and logistical terms, unprecedented. Then, as a result of the hurricanes and the need to create a management of environmental information of the archipelago after the scientific expedition San Andres and Old Providence, the expedition Seaflower Plus is being conducted, derived from the Decree 277 of March 12 of this year, which under the initiative of the Ministry of Environment and the participation of the entities of the environmental system is coordinating a survey of information on the Roncador, Sorinella, and Kitasueño Keys, in addition to the work conducted out in San Andres to update the submerged and terrestrial coverage maps.
Seaflower Plus 2021 also aims to generate scientific information to support decision-making and environmental planning and knowledge that will help identify areas with potential for the declaration of new areas of the National System of Protected Areas or other complementary conservation strategies, and to socialize the scientific knowledge obtained.
In response to the work done by tour operators and CORALINA officials in the regional park Jhonny Cay, the entity delivered a report of the cleanup activities.
During 3 days of closure of the regional park Jhonny Cay, the Environmental Corporation CORALINA advanced cleaning and beautification work at the site in order to improve the experience of visitors who come to the site, in turn of analyze the status of the species that inhabit in the park. The entity delivered a report of the work done.
We had a heavy work in trying to clean the small details in the quay because we didn't have so much garbage to take out. And this is something positive because the fact that we didn't have so much garbage to take out is because the quay wasn't so dirty or have a lot of garbage, because we keep permanent cleaning and organizing it. So I think this was a good balance at this cleaning. Finally, well, we had the collaboration at each person, the people that had their business out there, they take them time also to go and fix them business, then paint, then change the spile board, then organize, all these things. And we have a group of youth too also from Raiwa Foundation who was collaborating and taking up the small garbage off the beach. Otherwise, we had also the training with the people or the workers and owners of business from the quay. They was in training right by the hall on the hill.
During the 3 days of closure, the corporation provided training to the park's tour operators in conjunction with the Secretariat of Tourism on topics such as customer service. On the other hand, CORALINA indicated that the next closure of Jhonny Cay will take place during the month of December.
Now we continue with Victor Fusalba and all the sport news of our archipelago.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands, and this time with basketball, while Caribbean Storm continues its winning stream. Caribbean Storm won again, and this time against Manizales Cafeteros, to retake the first place in the standings of the wplay League of the Colombian Professional Basketball Tournament. With his outstanding work, Michael Jackson continues to ratify himself as one of the best players of the tournament, this time scoring 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists for his contribution in last night's game, where Caribbean Storm won 75-51 to the Cafeteros. In addition, Mariano Fierro, who also scored 15 points, made a significant contribution at the bench, once again ratified the good collective game proposed by the Argentinian coach Fernando Tulo Rivero. On the other hand, despite being penalized, the Cimarrones team Chocó Providence, who lost points for protesting the court conditions, won against the team Cali with a score of 89-82. Another spectacular night for the foreigners Belardo and Dominique, who scored 26 and 27 points, adding one more victory to the Chocó Providence team, in that way improving their position in the standings. We talk with the fan Rivela Lever.
Well, I feel good so we team in the first place, then win again, and well, I wish they continue to go good so they can become champion.
Tomorrow, November the 3rd, at 4:15 p.m., Cimarrones of Chocó will be playing Cafeteros from Armenia, and in the next match, Caribbean Storm will be facing Team Cali at 8 p.m. continue with more basketball, this time in the Barrack sector that says present, once again supporting the Maski basketball tournament. In this weekend of integration in the Barrack community, the community opened their arms again to welcome and applaud the protagonists of the Maxi Basketball Tournament that brought together national and local figures of basketball who showed their satisfaction in this event. This is how the organizer, Julian Hooker, expressed it.
This tournament went wonderful. My personal concept was a wonderful tournament. We said that the whole community come out. I enjoyed every day from Thursday until today, Monday when they play the final. We see our next final they play behind. All them here there we will have basketball. So we see we make a wonderful tournament. I'm not going to tell you same. In some moment we never got difficulty, but the idea from the difficulty that we learn from it. So in our next occasion you don't make the same mistake. So we just want to thank God saying could help with that everything could go through in the best way. Nobody get no danger, the team then gone happy, and well, the community receive it in the best way, and then they expect we continue.
Another who leaves grateful and happy is Marta Aguilar of the Master XP team from Bogotá.
Muy contentas, muy agradecidas con la isla.
I'm very happy, very grateful to the island. They treated us very well. It is very nice to come to San Andres to support basketball, to do what we like to do, and besides that, to share with you. The tournament was excellent. We are not taking the first place, but we are going back with the third place. That for us is totally significant. The level that was presented in the tournament is excellent. Keep doing these tournaments because it is the union of Colombian basketball.
It is great to see the satisfaction of the community, players and organizers in this type of sporting events that bring positive energy to the department. And this is all in sports for tonight. We will see you on another broadcast. Back to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Victor. And now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for tomorrow, November 3rd. In the coastal area of Archipelago, the sky will be with scattered storms. Temperature will be of 30 degrees Celsius, wind from the northeast direction with intensities of 16 kilometers per hour. Humidity forecast will be at 74%, and probability of precipitation will be at 50%.